Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today is the 1979 United States quarter. We have four of them here, and that's because there are two different varieties of the San Francisco Mint coin, what they call a clear S and what they call the filled S. And let's look at this filled S. So we look at the S here and we see that it kind of all lumps together. What's the difference? Well, we'll show you the clear S. In the clear S, you see just wide open. You can tell it's an S. And when you put them next to each other, you can really see how kind of sloppy this one is here. So we'll look at both of those, and we'll also talk about the Philadelphia coin and the Denver coin. One thing that you won't find from 1979 is a silver quarter. They didn't make any in 1979. So let's start with the Philadelphia because it's right here. Philadelphia, of course, 1979, no mint mark. And we look at it here, it says Liberty at the top, in God we trust here. This is a really fine coin. And you can just tell with the detail here, and you can actually see the initials pop off the bottom without magnifying it much, which is a good sign. There's a J and an F there for John Flanagan. Washington facing to the left, 1979. In God we trust under his chin. And we know this is a clad quarter because they didn't make any silver ones. And when you tip it up its edge, you see that it has 119 of these reeds, or what's sometimes international collectors call this a milled edge. And we see that it has a cladding on the outside, which is a copper nickel, solid copper center, and then a cladding on the back. And when you add up all the copper and the nickel, including the cladding, you get about 92% copper, 8% nickel coin. We get to the back and we see that this is a really, really sweet version of the coin. Look at the line in the beak. That's something you almost never see on any quarters. You see this, the eye and the little breathing hole on the beak. You see the little tuft off the back. This is a really, really nice coin. It doesn't have great feathers on the legs, but none of the 1979s will. And you notice we're getting some patina or some coloring here. There's United States of America here, E pluribus unum above the head. Down here we see there's an arrow with a line in the center. And if we move it back and forth, you can kind of see that there's a pretty good defined line. Great tail feathers coming down underneath, and we see that it says $quarter at the bottom. Now, some of you may have seen up here, there's a little bit of a flattening up here on this rim, but that won't add or detract from the coin very much. At Philadelphia in 1979, they made 516 million. They found one so far at a Mint State 68 that's worth $10,000. At the Denver Mint in 1979, they made 490 million, so $1 billion between the two mints. They found one Mint State 68 so far, and that's worth about $6,500. You see this has a little spotting on it. And let's flip it over to the back, and we'll see that this is a really, really nice coin also. So we got two really good coins here from 1979. In this state, they're probably worth $3 or $4, the Philadelphia and the Denver, just because they're in such good shape, maybe a little bit more than that. Now, they made them at the San Francisco Mint also, and they made two different types. About halfway through the year at the San Francisco Mint, they decided to move from the S that they were stamping to a new S. And this is the San Francisco Mint filled S right here. And this is just a beautiful coin, and you'll often find this in a Proof 70 deep cameo, which this is pretty close. This is at least a cameo. It's not hugely valuable. They found 1,126 Proof 70 deep cameos with the filled S, and those are worth about $35 each. And let's look at this filled S. So we look at the S here, and we see that it kind of all lumps together. What's the difference? Well, we'll show you the clear S. In the clear S, you see just wide open. You can tell it's an S. And when you put them next to each other, you can really see how kind of sloppy this one is here. So mid-year, they changed the mint mark to the clear S. And you see a number of these clear S's with this kind of coating on them. This is a proof coin. It's in really, really good shape. We can flip it over to the back and show you the feathers on the back of it. And this one doesn't have as much detail in the beak as our P and our D did. These coins in the Type 2 or the Clear S variety, they found 567 Proof 70 deep cameos, and they're worth about $75. Most collectors will pay $5 or more to get one of these clear S's because they're not that easy to find. They only made 3.7 million S's total, and the clear S is a much harder coin to find. That's all we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Notice our D is that Phil D, which we have for many of those coins in the 70s. And notice that we still don't have a mint mark on the Philadelphia in 1979. That didn't come until much later. All right, that's all we have today from DC Coin World. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you have in the comment section.